support Tamil Nadu, opposite part.
Okay. IAFSC India host ఎవరండి ఎవరు చేస్తున్నారు హోస్టింగ్ జానీ గారా హలో హోస్టింగ్ ఎవరు చేస్తున్నారండి రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వట్లేదు హోస్టింగ్ నాకు ఇవ్వలేదండి ఇంకా నాకు హోస్టింగ్ రాలేదు Okay, today we are going to discuss like I told that we are going to discuss about confined space, right? So how many of you are aware of confined space?
Yes, sir.
Confined space, how many of you are aware? Who is new to confined space? Okay, I got the hosting. Hopefully I got the hosting. Okay, this is the confined space entry share. Okay, today I'm going to discuss about this confined space entry and who are like already in the workplaces, they might have known to confined space entry, what is confined space entry and all. Okay, so hello madam hosting ఇచ్చారు కదా నేను తీసుకున్నాను మేడం తీసుకున్నాను స్టార్ట్ చేశాను so fine. So coming to the confined space entry, we have a certain protocols for confined space entry. You should not like this is a work which includes lot of precision, safety measures, enter and exits, and also extra care should be taken during this confined space entry, and we will see the exact what is confined space entry, what are the precautions to be taken. Okay, who is responsible for confined space entry. Okay, fine. Coming to, you can see the confined space entry, right? Like you can see my slide, right? Confined space overview.
Yes.
Okay, fine. We'll see about definitions, confined space hazards, and equipment requirements. So any work, any activity, what we do, what is our main funda? What is our main funda? We have to know the complete hazards of that particular work. Okay, hazard identification to be done. Okay, so to know the hazards, what we have to do, we have to list down the hazards. So moving forward, definitions, confined space hazards, hazard identification. So here see what are the learning objectives, regulatory requirements. So as per our Factories Act 1948 is I'm getting disturbance. See mute. Okay, according see this whatever regulations here in this slide, you don't bother, like as per our section the 1948, as per our section 48, sorry, as per our Factories Act 1948, the regulation is section 36 and 36A. Okay, 36 and 36A talks about confined space entry. Okay, you will not be just a minute, Srinivas CITU. Okay, you will not be recognized as like there is no specific section called confined space entry. The confined space entry section is determined like working in dangerous fumes and gases, and 36A section says you about that power of the electrical bulb which is used should be used in when you are working in confined spaces. Okay, that is 24 volts, which we have discussed in previous sections. Fine. confined space hazards and hazard identification. So what is hazard identification? Hazard identification is very important. Why? Because if you cannot identify the hazards, అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏదైతే hazards ఉన్నాయో ఐడెంటిఫై చేయలేకపోతే ఓకే యూ కెనాట్ గివ్ ద కంట్రోల్ మెజర్స్ అనేవి మనం ఇవ్వలేం. ఓకే సో దట్స్ హౌ అవర్ కన్ఫైన్ స్పేస్ ది ఆబ్జెక్టివ్స్ ఫైన్. సో లెర్నింగ్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్స్ దీనివల్ల మనకి ఏం తెలుస్తుంది? we'll learn about responsibilities, who are responsible, how the entry permits are raised, okay, what is lockout tagout procedures, okay, enduku why lockout tagout procedures are coming into confined space? Because why there is another activity which we spoke about lockout tagout procedures. What is that activity? Yesterday last class in another
Sir,
activity.
wall,
Yes, yes.
any liquid wall.
What is that activity? Electrical hazards, electrical activity, electrical maintenance or mechanical maintenance activity. In that also we discussed about lockout tagout procedures. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
here also we are discussing about lockout tagout, because if any confined space, whether it can be tank, whether it can be pipe, whether it can be boiler, anything which has a like minimum access, okay, one access and one entry and one exit with very less diameter of hole, or the axis, okay, less diameter of hole or the less diameter of ring. Fine. So coming to this atmospheric monitoring, this monitoring is very crucial. What do you mean by atmospheric monitoring? Atmospheric monitoring involves oxygen. First thing is oxygen efficiency, okay, oxygen monitoring, okay. Another most common gas in confined spaces are H2S, methane, okay. H2S is also, if for example, if it is drain cleaning, what we have, the biological hazards will have methane gas developed inside the confined space, okay. And also most common gas in the confined space is what do you CO, carbon monoxide. Why how carbon monoxide comes? If you are using uh, if you are using any power tool, okay, or equipment or anything, if you are doing welding, what happens? Okay, the welding gas, the welding smoke will be all around the confined space, okay. That also a atmospheric monitoring parameter, okay. Fine. Okay. Training requirements. So what are the different training requirements while the person is entering or working or monitoring the confined space? Okay. So learning objectives, alternate entry procedures, reclassification, respiratory protections. These all you'll learn about these entry procedures. Reclassification means already there is an existing procedures. If you have want to any if you want to any changes in the SOPs or changes in any procedures, there should be reclassification should be done. Respiratory protection. Okay. See what is the facts. Nearly like 2.1 million worker enter permit confined space annually. So it's an average one. Nearly 2.1 million worker enter permit confined spaces annually, means there are nearly like 2.1 million works going on with a permitted confined space, okay. Permitted, it's not like without permit. Usually where you can see without permit entries in our GVMC, okay, in GVMC tanks and all, we see without permit entries and all, okay. The majority of fatalities in confined space emergencies occur to rescuers, okay. See the second point, what he is saying. For example, take in front of you there is an unconscious person in a confined space, okay. ఎవరో మీ ఎదురుగుండా కన్ఫైన్ స్పేస్కి వెళ్ళి కళ్ళు తిరిగి పడిపోయాడు. సో మీరు పైనుంచి చూసారు, వెంటనే మీరు దిగుతారా? దిక్కోడు. ఎందుకు పడిపోయాడు? ఎందుకు దిక్కకూడదు అంటే, వై యూ పీపుల్ షుడ్ నాట్ ఎంటర్ ఇన్ టు దట్ confined space? Because that person has fallen due to intake of some unsafe intake of some poisonous gases. So why you people should not go there? If you go there, the same thing happens and you will also fall. A person who is unconscious in the confined space because he has inhaled some poisonous or toxic gases that made him to be in that position. If you go to help him without wearing any PPE, you will also fall. The same thing happened once in Abu Dhabi. So there is a oil and gas plant where a person fell due to excess of H2S. And what happened? Not only one, more than 2-3 people went there to rescue him, and they fell down unconscious. That's a very blunder mistake. We should not go, or we should not rush, or we should not be hurry when there is a person fallen unconscious in confined space. If you are monitoring that, if the same thing you will intimate to when you are giving trainings. When you giving trainings, what are the precautionary measures to be taken to a person who is immediately seen? He should inform that to the concerned authorities. You should not risk his life to go there and bring him out. That's a fact. See, this confined spaces is defined as the interior of an enclosed area or structure. Okay, we should not, exteriors are not considered as confined space. Why exteriors are not considered a confined space? Because the exterior has enough ventilation, enough environment, enough oxygen. So the confined space is an enclosed or partially closed, partially enclosed. It can be, I don't know, I don't, like I'm getting disturbance. Mute call, money. Mute call. Money should mute. People who join, mute their calls. Okay, fine. So it's an enclosure or partially enclosed. So what do you say if anyone asks you, or if there is a confined space word listened by you, what are the points that has to be in your mind? It's an enclosed or partially enclosed. Okay, enclosed means completely. Partially means if there is a opening on other surface, other area, that comes under partially enclosed. Okay, it's not designed or intended for continuous human occupancy. So what do you mean by human occupancy? There should not be a group of people or gathering inside the confined space. That's not intended to be so. It's not designed for that. Okay, has limited or restricted means of entry or exit that may complicate the provision of first aid, evacuation, rescue, or other emergency services. So I would like you people to understand the third point very clearly. What do you mean? What is the third point says? First, what is the basic thing? Confined space may be enclosed, is a enclosed or partially enclosed vessel. Okay, it is not designed or intended to for a continuous human occupancy. That is common thing. Oh my god. Oh, is my PPT audible, visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You can see me moving, right? Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Fine. See, what does the third point says? It has a limited or restricted means of entry for exit that may complicate the provision. See, what does it mean? See, if anyone is in, that is the reason, based on the third point, the precautionary measures and the proactive measures are very strict when a person is going to confined space. Why? Because if something happens, there is no proper, or the one cannot do first aid. No one can go there immediately. No one can evacuate immediately. No one can rescue that immediately. That is the reason the proactive controls. What do you mean by proactive controls? What do you mean by proactive and reactive? Proactive means the controls which we give before anything happens. That's the control measures. What we would always give. What is the reactive control measures? Anyone? What do you mean by reactive control? Proactive and reactive. Reactive means if something happened. Yes, if something happened. So what are the control measures are given after a particular investigation has been done in order to make that to repeat once again? That comes under reactive measures. So the proactive measures here will be very strict based on the third point, because it has limited or restricted means of entry. Okay, is and confined space is also a large enough and so configured that a worker could enter to perform assigned work. It should be like it should see in some cases what happens, there will be like very areas where a worker himself cannot go inside. So in that cases, especially you'll find such kind of things in ships, vessels. When I worked in shipyard, when we are constructing a hulk, okay, ship hull. So what happens, the welders have to pass through the ballasting tank side, and they have to go inside and they have to weld it from inside. They have to weld some columns, like after the ship hull is been welded inside, they will be welding supporting panels. So when sometimes what happens, there will be very restricted area for themselves to go inside. So what we have to do, we have to raise the we used to raise the permit and create an opening for them to go inside. That also can happen. This all comes under confined space. Okay. Enclosures. Engulfment. Engulfment means, see, for example, there are two types of engulfments. If, for example, see, you remember about our cave-ins, what we have discussed in construction safety, cave-in. Anyone remember about cave-in?
Yes, sir, related to excavation
Yes,
collapse.
it's a sudden collapse of unprotected excavation edges on the person who is working below the ground level. That's cave-in. If a complete sand falls on him, that's cave-in due to some external impacts or sources. Engulfment means it's nearer to cave-in, but why it is called engulfment? It happens in a enclosed surface, enclosed vessel. So what is the two types of engulfments in confined spaces? Remember, flooding. One thing is flooding. Okay. Second thing is flooding of water or flooding of with materials. See, don't think that confined spaces are something which one will go inside only for work. If there is a agricultural industry where they'll store all the loose material in one big silos or tanks, when a person's go inside that also comes under confined space. Sometimes what happens when they go inside and work, if the because the rice and everything will be loose, some people go inside and bury themselves inside. That's also comes under confined space entry works, and also that phenomena is called engulfment. Okay. Being buried by free flow loose granules material such as sand, dust, or earth, being drowned in liquids. So I would like you people to understand, we are discussing about the hazards. These are the hazards. Okay, we have to take it as an hazard. Engulfment is an hazard. Being buried by free flow loose granule material such as sand or dust. Okay. Isolation. Separating, what is the isolation means? Isolation comes under control measure. In what? Okay. So separation pipe from confined space may include blanking, blending, and double block or bleed. Okay. So here what he's saying the pipe should be completely separated. Why we discussing why the piping word came here? Here he's talking about confined space entry in oil and gas industries or boilers. Okay, because the peripherals have it will be connected to different kinds of peripherals. అంటే పక్కన కూడా ఏవో ఉంటాయి దానికి కనెక్ట్ అయ్యింది. సో అది కంప్లీట్ గా పైప్ అయినా రిమూవ్ చేసేయాలి, లేకపోతే బ్లాక్ పెట్టాలి. Okay, it should be blocked in other means. It can be a blanking, blending, and double block or bleed. Okay, it is a different kinds of techniques, blanking, blending, okay, to block the pipe without disconnecting from the vessels. Okay, vessel means I am referring to anything. It can be boiler, it can be closed surface area. Okay, see, these are the different kinds of confined space areas. Okay.
Sir, what is vault, sir? Vault, VAULT.
Vaults are also like they comes under it will be also like a silo, sir. లైక్
బ్యాంక్ లో వాల్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా సార్, పెద్ద డోర్స్ తో లోపలికి వెళ్ళిపోతే వేరే ఏది ఎగ్జిట్ ఉండదు.
అంటే చూడండి సార్, లైక్ ఓల్డ్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ మనం చూసుకుంటే సార్, ఓల్డ్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి చూసారా, లైక్ చూడండి ఇగ్లూ లాగా ఉంటాయి. ఇగ్లూ ఉంటారు సార్, ఇగ్లూ. అంటే ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, ఇప్పుడు ఒక చిన్న హట్ లా ఉండి పొడవుగా ఉంటాయి, ఇగ్లూస్ లా ఉంటాయి, వాటిని వాల్స్ అంటారండి. ఇగ్లూ అంటే మీరు చిన్న ఎస్కిమోస్ ఉంటారు కదా, ఎస్కిమోస్ ఉండేవారు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మన ఈ ఆఫ్రికన్ కాదు, అంటార్టిక్ రీజన్స్ లో కనిపిస్తాయి వాల్స్ అనేవి. అంటే అది చిన్న వాల్స్ అంటే ఆ షేప్ లో ఉండవు అనమాట. ఓకే
ఓకే సార్.
ఫైన్. సిలోస్ అంటే మీకు తెలిసినవే. ఓకే, సిలోస్ అంటే ఏం లేదు. సిలోస్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు పొడవుగా ఒక కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, దాంట్లోని సిలోస్ అంటారు. ట్రెంచెస్, టన్నల్స్, స్టోరేజ్ బిన్స్, మ్యాన్ హోల్స్, బోర్ హోల్స్, అవి పైప్స్ అంటే సీవర్ డ్రైన్స్, ట్యాంక్స్, సెప్టిక్ వెజల్స్. వెజల్స్ అంటే ఎనీథింగ్.
బ్యాచింగ్ ప్లాంట్ లో వాడతారు సార్.
ఏంటండి?
సేలర్స్ బ్యాచింగ్ ప్లాంట్ లో వాడతారు సార్.
Silos. Yes, silos. Like we are using for cement plants. Cement plants.
Yes, cement plants.
Cement plant లో బ్యాచింగ్ ప్లాంట్స్ లో వాడతారు సార్.
That is called silos.
Silos. అవును. Yes, silos.
It's called silos.
Fine sir, fine. Silos.
Yes. Not silos.
Okay sir. Silos. Fine.
So walls means ఇవేంటంటే బాల్ వాల్స్, సెక్షనల్ వాల్స్, లైక్ వెరీ బిగ్ 36 inch, 48 inch, 1 or 2 inch ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట వాల్స్.
అవును సార్. వాల్స్
వాల్స్ ఏంటంటే మినిమం 36 inch నుండి స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి, బిగ్ వాల్స్ అన్నమాట. అవి లైక్ ఏంటంటే బాల్ వాల్స్.
ఓకే,
అలా ఉంటుందండి. అది బిగ్ సైజ్ లో ఉంటుంది. దాంట్లో క్లీన్ చేయాలన్నా డ్యూరింగ్ మెయింటెనెన్స్ అది కూడా కన్ఫైన్డ్ స్పేస్ యాక్టివిటీలో తీసుకుంటారు. ఎందుకంటే అది ఆల్రెడీ రన్ అవుతున్న ప్లాంట్ లో మనం
సిమెంట్ ఇండస్ట్రీ అండి మీరు మాట్లాడే. సిమెంట్ ఇండస్ట్రీనా వాల్స్ కూడా?
No. Island gas.
Okay.
So even in the batching plant also silos are there.
Batching plant, yes.
Batching plants, yeah.
Anything.
Okay, batching plant ఏంటంటే స్టోరేజ్ సైలోస్ అన్నమాట. స్టోరేజ్ సైలోస్ దాంట్లో సిమెంట్ సైలో వేసుకుంటారు, ఎంత కావాలని తీసుకుంటారు అన్నమాట.
Okay, that's fine. So what are the common hazards అండి? ఇక్కడ దీంట్లో what are the common hazards ఉంటాయి? దీంట్లో ఏదైనా all these confined spaces has oxygen deficient atmosphere. అది వన్ ఆఫ్ ద hazard. అంటే ఇంకోటి ఆక్సిజన్ ఎన్రిచ్డ్ అట్మాస్ఫియర్ కూడా hazard. డెఫిషియన్సీ కూడా hazard. డెఫిషియన్సీ అయితే దట్ పర్సన్ కెనాట్ సర్వైవ్. ఎన్రిచ్డ్ అయితే ఏమవుతుంది? ఇట్ కెన్ బి ఏ root cause for fire, for even a small static electricity also. తర్వాత టాక్సిక్ అట్మాస్ఫియర్స్ ఉంటాయి. చెప్పండి ప్లీజ్. Silos means a vertical structure which has a long funnel like point, like funnel like height. Tank. Okay, tank. You can say it is a tank which is like vertical structure, vertically long. Okay, very long. It's like you can say like wind. You can say wind turbines. Okay, have you ever seen wind turbines? It will be like a vertical column, or you can say vertical outlet or pipe or anything which is vertically erected, upright. Okay, it's more than about 200 feet. Okay, 500 feet sometimes. Okay, you can see in fertilizer industries also silos. Okay, fine.
ఈ సైలోస్ అన్ని ఇండస్ట్రీస్ లో ఉండే బాయిలర్ లో మనం చూడొచ్చు. బాయిలర్స్ లో సైలోస్ చూడొచ్చు.
Yes sir, yes.
Not only boilers sir, petrochemical industry, cement industry,
and
oil and gas industry.
బాయిలర్ అనేది కామన్ కాబట్టి ఒకవేళ మనకి అన్ని ఇండస్ట్రీస్ లో ఈ బాయిలర్ కామన్ కాబట్టి బాయిలర్ లో మస్ట్ అండ్ షుడ్ ఈ సైలోస్ మనకు కనిపిస్తుంది.
బాయిలర్స్ లో ఎందుకు కనిపిస్తాయంటే అక్కడ ఏంటంటే కోల్ అన్నది క్రష్ అయ్యి సైలోస్ లోకి వెళ్ళాలి. లేదంటే ఆఫ్టర్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ దాన్ని డస్ట్ అన్నది ఏంటంటే సైలోస్ లో స్టోరేజ్ చేస్తారు ఫర్ సిమెంట్ ప్రాసెసింగ్స్.
ఎస్ సార్. అంటే మామూలుగా మనం చూసుకున్నట్టయితే ఈ సైలోస్ అండర్ లో కొన్ని ట్రక్స్ కూడా ఈ ఫిల్ లోడింగ్ అన్లోడింగ్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి. ఇది కోన్ లో ఉండి కిందన మనకి పొడవు అంటే 2 విధాలుగా ఉంటాయండి. అంటే డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ సైలోస్ కూడా ఉంటాయి. వి డోంట్ వాంట్ టు గో ఇంటూ దట్. బట్ ఎనీథింగ్ which is like having a confined space environment, okay, we'll take it into.
Sir, we can call it a long cylindrical type cone
That's
shape
cylindrical type structure which has a conical shape at the bottom, or with the long cylindrical type structure which is completely from the bottom level to the ground level. Okay. What are the hazards? Sorry. Entry into confined spaces may be necessary to periodically perform the following functions. What is the on what factors? Okay, entry is based. They can ask you following functions. Fine. So what are the necessary? What is saying? Entry into confined space may be necessary to periodically perform the following functions. Means what the following functions has to be taken into consideration. Like what is the construction? Whether it is cylindrical, okay, or whether it is what is the shape, okay, you have to take into consideration. And where it is it on the crane, is it on surface area, is it a boiler, is it in the oil and gas industry? We'll see in the construction. Inspection of that particular thing. What do you inspect? Okay, maintenance, cleaning, okay, removal or repairing. Okay, we have to follow this. Okay. So what are the hazards representing the potential of what is the different kinds of hazards here we are seeing? It can be a toxic gas. Okay, I don't know, people are entering room in last 10 minutes also. Toxic gases above PEL. Normally we have two abbreviations only, like LEL, lower exposure limit, upper exposure limit. Okay, or PEL means personal exposure limit. That's a separate thing. I just want to understand two basic concepts. LEL and UEL, upper exposure limit and lower exposure limit. And it is also there is another other word called upper explosive, lower explosive. When we talk about upper explosive limit, it's regarding the flammable gas. Okay, exposure, if you're talking exposure limit, we are talking about the person who is exposed to that area. Okay, these are the two. You have to clearly listen the words exposure and explosive. Okay, exposure ante manishi ఎంతసేపు ఉంటుందో ఎంతసేపు ఎక్స్పోజ్ అవుతున్నాడో, ఓకే, దాన్ని ఎక్స్పోజర్ లిమిట్ అంటారు. ఎక్స్ప్లోజివ్ అంటే ఒకవేళ ఆ పర్టికులర్ మనిషి అక్కడ పనిచేస్తున్న ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ లో ఆ యొక్క ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ లో ఒక గ్యాస్ కానీ ఉంటే దాని యొక్క లిమిట్ ఉంటుంది చూసారా, ద నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పార్టికల్స్ ఇన్ ద ఎయిర్, దాన్ని exposure limit అంటారు, explosive limit అంటారు. ఓకే, సో కమింగ్ టు ద exposure limit, toxic gases above the permittable exposure explosive limit. Toxic gases అంటే permittable explosive limit అనాలి, flammable gases and lower explosive limit. ఓకే, గ్యాస్ వచ్చినప్పుడల్లా ఎక్స్ప్లోజివ్ అనాలి. పొటెన్షియల్ టు IDLH అండ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ అంటే ఇమీడియట్ డేంజర్ టు లైఫ్ అండ్ హెల్త్. ఓకే, ఇవన్నీ హజార్డ్స్ అండి. ఓకే, కమింగ్ టు ద హజార్డ్స్ ఇన్ ఏ సింపుల్ వే, ఇవన్నీ పక్కన పెట్టండి. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్, వాట్ ఆర్ ద బేసిక్ హజార్డ్స్? ఆక్సిజన్ డెఫిషియన్సీ ఇస్ బేసిక్ హజార్డ్. ఆక్సిజన్ తక్కువ ఉంటుంది. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ ఈజ్ ఆక్సిజన్ డెఫిషియన్సీ. సో ఆక్సిజన్ ఎన్రిచ్మెంట్ ఇందాక అనుకున్నాం కదా, ఎన్రిచ్మెంట్ వల్ల ఏమవుతుందండి? ఇట్ కెన్ కాజ్ ఫైర్. ఫైన్, దట్స్ ద సెకండ్ హజార్డ్. పొటెన్షియల్ ఆఫ్ engulfment, ఆల్రెడీ వీ హ్యావ్ సీన్. ఓకే, engulfment అనేది also a hazard. So potential for IDLH atmospheres. IDLH atmospheres ఎప్పుడు డెవలప్ అవుతాయండి? ఆక్సిజన్ ఎన్రిచ్మెంట్ ఎందుకు hazards అని అంటే అండి, ఇఫ్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్సెసివ్ ఆక్సిజన్ ఇన్ ద కన్ఫైన్డ్ స్పేస్. ఎక్సెసివ్ ఆక్సిజన్ ఎలా అవుతుందో నేను చెప్తాను చూడండి. ఇప్పుడు వెల్డింగ్ ఏదో చేసినప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారు? దే విల్ యూజ్ ఆక్సిజన్ అండ్ అసిటిలిన్ సిలిండర్స్, రైట్? If they misplace it, or if they do not keep the valve in proper way, కొంతమంది ఏం చేస్తారంటే వాళ్ళు లంచ్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు అది ఆల్రెడీ అక్కడ వదిలేసి వచ్చి మళ్ళీ రిటర్న్ వెళ్తారు. సో ఇఫ్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ ఎనీ లీక్స్ ద ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ విల్ బికమ్ ఆక్సిజన్ ఎన్రిచ్డ్. సో if he starts igniting it, he will be in a big blow of gas.
Yeah.
Fine, sir. Fine.
it
So
can
that's
be,
also comes
fire
under
extinguisher.
enrichment. Enrichment is also a hazard. Deficiency is also a hazard. For enrichment is a hazard for flammable or fire hazard. Deficiency is a hazard for personal entry. Okay. Potential for engulfment is a simple thing. It already we have discussed. Potential for engulfment means potential for other liquids to come inside, potential for other objects to fall, potential for dust arise, potential for smoke. Okay, fine. Potential for IDLH atmospheres. IDLH means immediate danger to life and health. Okay. So why potential for IDLH environments? If in case he should go like for about 10 meters inside the confined space. He has traveled double the distance, but he has a SCABA which has limited supply, which is around 20 minutes depending upon his work activity. Okay, what happens? That's a potential for immediate danger to health and life and health. Second thing, if he's wearing canister, only respiratory mask, okay, it will protect him from only till certain time until it can filter the gas. That's also. What are the other immediate danger to health, life and health? If in case of pipe leaks, if in case of object falls, okay, sliding. For example, if you see in the not HPCL shipyard, fertilizer industry, what happens? Fertilizers will be made in such a way that they will rotate one big drum, like it will be like horizontal drum. Okay, it will not be vertical, it will be like horizontal drum, in which they'll mix ammonia, sulfuric acid, sulfur, liquid ammonia. It's like it's been minus hundreds of degrees, and then for phosphorus they'll milk, and their objective is to make a balls, small dry balls. What happens in that drum? They'll be forming of lumps, like because the drum is rotating, if the liquid quantity is high, the lumps will be formed. So one person should go inside and he should hit the lumps with long stick, so the lump can fall on him. That's also immediate danger to health. It can be in any way. Okay, fine. So when I used to do shutdowns in fertilizer plants, we used to give permits, ammonia related permits, because they use liquid ammonia. We used to see ammonia upper explosive limit, lower explosive limit in the multi gas detector. Fine. Toxic gas is about the PEL, permittable explosive limit. If there is a permittable explosive limit, is the gas is above, what we have to do? We have to ventilate. Okay, what we have to do? We have to ventilate. If there is no possibility of ventilation, we have to do artificial ventilation. Even though if the gas is high, we'll give SCABA. Probably SCABA is given and the person is entered only after all the levels are came into normal condition. Flammable gas is about 10% of the LEL. Okay, if the flammable gases should not be more than 10%. Okay, if it is less than 10%, there will be less chances of flammability. Okay, ignition sources. Static, see, we have discussed static electricity is one of the ignition source. Fine, we have discussed about static electricity. What do you mean by static electricity? It's a electricity when there is an imbalances in positive and negative charges. Okay, when there is an imbalance, the surface of any object will have a stable electrical charges. Okay, on its layer. Fine. When the charges are brought near to the other's hand or any other objects, the objects try to move from that surface to the another surface. Okay, that's called duration of that. In the duration, there will be a spark, because there is a discharge of charges that comes under static electricity. Okay, what is the ignition sources? What are the different ignition sources? Metal friction also. What do you mean by metal friction? Grinding, that's a metal friction. Usually grinding is been done in the open areas. Sometimes if you want to do inside the vessel, sometimes they will be creating additional cuts to the vessel. Fine. Metal friction also is a reason. Unapproved lamps or electrical equipment. As per our section 36A Factories Act, if you read it, we have to take only 24 volts bulb, because it will not generate any heat. Out of heat, it will not ignite any particular gas sources. Why only 24 volts bulb? You understood, right? See, at the beginning nothing can happen, but duration of, like, for about in a long run, or in the duration of hours, 8 hours, anything can happen, or some H2S can accumulate, and then it can react with the heat bulb. Cigarettes, therefore, that's a common thing. No smoking, apart from grinding or welding. Fine. Coming to the toxic contaminants, I'll discuss threshold limit value. TLV means it's an average value that a person should work in an environment for a period of 8 hours consistently. I'll discuss in next class. I'll continue this. Class is clear, right? The class is clear, right? So you have to list out the hazards. You have to make clear. You should not mix it up. You should list out the hazards, control measures, okay, and what are the possible proactive measures one has to take, and what are the trainings to be conducted in confined spaces. Right? I'll be discussing this. Only 1 minute is there. Any doubts?